been 10 years. I try to stretch as much as I can, but you don't really know what's going to happen when you get out there. I am unpredictable. I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm out there.
In the world of WWE, women's wrestling has evolved more than almost any other part of the business. From the Divas era to today's main event spotlight, the journey has been incredible. This is WWE Women, then versus now. AJ Lee. AJ Lee burst onto the WWE scene in 2011 on the season of NXT that was still treated as a developmental game show. Her official in-ring debut came in a mixed tag match alongside Primo against Alicia Fox and Maxine. She was small, spunky, and not exactly treated as a future main eventer. Fast forward to her peak years, AJ broke the mold of what a diva was supposed to be. With her crazy Love Bites persona, skipping to the ring and cutting scathing promos, she carried the Divas Championship for 295 days. For a long time, AJ wasn't wrestling in WWE, but her impact was everywhere. She's been a published author, she's worked as a producer for Women of Wrestling, and her influence is still felt whenever fans talk about changing the game. But now, after nearly a decade away from the company, AJ shocked fans with a surprise return, marking her first WWE appearance since 2015. The reaction was thunderous, reminding everyone of her enduring connection with the fans. From overlooked rookie to record-setting champion, and now an inspiring comeback star, AJ Lee's story is proof that passion never fades. Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella debuted in 2008 alongside her twin sister, Brie. Their first televised match was the infamous Twin Magic tag bout against Victoria and Natalia, where the Bellas would switch places behind the referee's back. At the time, they were more of a novelty act, but Nikki, in particular, grew into much more. By 2015, she was Divas champion for a record 301 days, becoming one of the biggest stars in the division. For many years after her thunderous career, Nikki wasn't active in the ring, but has stayed in the spotlight with reality shows, a podcast, and mainstream media appearances. She also became a WWE Hall of Famer. After years away, Nikki made a stunning return in 2025. That appearance proved her star power has never gone away. From a debut built on tricks to becoming a Hall of Famer and returning legend, Nikki Bella's story is all about growth, resilience, and lasting popularity.
I'm sorry?
Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton represents the new generation. She debuted on NXT 2.0 in late 2021, portraying a spoiled rich girl, and her first match was against Fallon Henley. While critics at first thought she was all character, Tiffany quickly silenced doubters with her athleticism and powerful offense. Just 2 years later, she was already NXT Women's Champion. In 2025, Tiffany is on the main roster, rubbing shoulders with some of the biggest stars in WWE. Now, her persona is a perfect blend of Barbie and Sabrina Carpenter. From debuting in developmental to being one of the fastest rising names in the business, Tiffany's then versus now is one of the most rapid ascents we've seen in years.
You can win the match, you can trend for one night, but I fear no one can outdo the doer.
Bayley. The journey of Bayley is one of the most remarkable. She debuted in NXT in 2013 with her hugger persona, facing off against Paige in her first televised match. At first, she was portrayed as a wide-eyed fangirl, but her connection with the audience made her a star. Bayley became one of the 4 horsewomen who elevated NXT into the future. Her match against Sasha Banks at TakeOver Brooklyn in 2015 is still considered one of the greatest women's matches of all time. In 2025, Bayley remains a top player on SmackDown. After years as a villain leading Damage Control, she continues to reinvent herself while being one of the most decorated women in WWE history. From debuting as a superfan to headlining pay-per-views, Bayley's career embodies evolution.
Look, that's water under the bridge, okay? The game that we are playing is winning, okay?
Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon isn't a traditional wrestler, but her debut in 1999 against Vince McMahon of all people is unforgettable. In her first in-ring appearance, she teamed with Test against Jeff Jarrett and Deborah. Though she was more known as the boss's daughter, Stephanie became an on-screen authority figure and occasional competitor. Fast forward to 2014, when she fought Brie Bella at SummerSlam, and fans were shocked at how solid she was in the ring. In 2025, Stephanie is away from WWE corporate leadership, but remains a significant figure in wrestling history. From being introduced as a young princess character in the Attitude Era, to one of the most powerful women in the company's history, her then versus now is less about wins and losses, and more about influence and legacy.
We had to prove that we belonged. We had to prove that we could have our own PLE, that we could have our own show.
Trish Stratus. The one and only Trish Stratus debuted in 2000, managing Test and Albert, and her first match came a few months later in a 6-person tag. She wasn't polished, but she had star power. Over time, Trish became the measuring stick of women's wrestling in WWE, winning 7 championships and competing in legendary matches. She retired in 2006 as the top woman of her era. Yet, even in 2025, Trish is still making waves. After her heel return in 2023, she's proven she can still wrestle at a high level decades later. Her most recent endeavor in WWE is her recent feud with Tiffany Stratton. But let's be totally real, few have grown from such humble beginnings to be recognized as perhaps the greatest of all time.
Nobody is gonna steal my spotlight, okay?
Asuka. The Empress of Tomorrow debuted in NXT in 2015 against Dana Brooke, immediately showing off her unique striking style and submission game. From day one, she felt different. Asuka went on to hold the longest undefeated streak in modern WWE history, dominating NXT and the main roster alike. Now in 2025, Asuka continues to reinvent herself, from Kana in Japan to the Empress of Tomorrow, to her darker, mist-spewing persona. From debuting as a silent but dangerous rookie to becoming one of the most decorated international stars WWE has ever had, Asuka's career is still going strong.
No one is ready for Kabuki Warrior!